So, yesterday, Banana Castle and myself were down at the local show. We were scheduled to run our first passenger service of the 2024 season, and we had a catastrophic failure. Banana Castle failed. She was pulling her first passenger train of the day. We had my normal driving truck behind the loco. We had a passenger carriage with two children and a adult. The adult was on the back of the train. And as we made it round to the far side of the club track, there's a slight incline as we come to the back of the loop, and all power cut out. Banana Castle completely failed, but this was only power to the motors. So let's take a look inside and see what we did to diagnose the issue, or what we think is potentially the problem. So to get to all of the bits that we needed to get to in order to have a look at what the issue was, the cab had to be taken apart. There's a screw hole here which goes into this screw here, which we needed to remove, and there's two screws at the bottom of the floor, one here and one here, which we also needed to remove. And this gave us access to the inners of the loco. Inside here we had a controller which has now been removed, and we have the cables that were all connected up to that controller. Some of these power the motors, some of them power the horn and the brake, and some of them power the battery meter and throttle control. So what we did was we took the M plus and M minus leads, and we connected them up to the battery terminals and ran the locomotive to see whether or not the wheels would turn without going through the controller. This worked, which means that the motors weren't at fault. We then got a multimeter and connected it up to the controller itself to see whether that was getting power. It was. So that suggests that there was no issues with the wiring up to the controller. Took the controller out, stripped it down, had a look inside, couldn't see any visible faults. All the wiring, all the circuitry, all the circuit boards appear to be intact. So the only thing that we can think of is that this 4QD Porter 5 has actually failed. But unfortunately, during our inspections of the underside of the engine, as we were trying to diagnose what the fault might have been, we noticed that this positive wire on the front motor has sheared off entirely from the motor housing. This has come completely off of here, so that's going to need a repair as well. But these three motors, this one, and this one, all turned the four wheels, which suggested that there's no actual problem with the motors themselves apart from this wiring issue. So that's a separate issue to the issue that we have with the controller. So what it looks like we're going to have to do is send the controller unit away and get that tested. It's this one here again, the Porter 5. And we're going to see whether or not that has actually failed. If it hasn't, then we're going to need to have a look closer at some of the other elements within here to see what else might be the problem. If you want to stay updated on all the progress around Banana Castle's repair, why not give us a like and subscribe? Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.